So we're live, and we can see each other. That's nice. Greetings, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When last we left our heroes, they had just left BootyCon. They had rescued the ship La Floridita from the evil clutches of Ratty, the Paulie impersonator. By a matter of democracy, they were able to convince the majority of the crew to vote for this new captain. And over the last couple of weeks, maybe a month, they've been cruising around on their new ship. They have returned the ETC percentage, the lone ship they had, and have been getting into all kinds of scrapes, all kinds of piratical, nautical, small little adventures, and mostly information gathering. Yama, you have been sort of you've been going from port to port, chatting with people, mapping out goblin movements.
Mm-hmm.
So you have become proficient with cartographer's tools.
Ooh, hells yeah.
You have also, in your downtime, been practicing with swords,
Mm-hmm.
and you have unlocked the ability to add comprehend language to your katana as one of the
Oh,
options you can use.
awesome. Thank you.
Killian, you have been practicing your transmutation magic, both on objects and on willing and potentially unwilling crew members.
Definitely unwilling.
And so I think we discussed this. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I just wrote this down. I think that you'll have advantage on concentration checks for transmutation spells.
Hell yeah.
So that means it will be slightly harder to bust you out of your polymorph ability, or to drop your polymorph ability on others. You also have been looking into information, and as Captain Paulie has been going, from port to port and ship to ship, you've been working with Yama, looking for maps of and stories about the Star Forge. And so you've started to piece together information about the Star Forge in general. And what you've uncovered is that it is it's the name given to what was a large crater that was created by sort of a meteor falling into a volcano. And there's sort of this legend that it was a furnace built by giants eons ago. But no one kind of lives near this island because it turned all the water acidic. There's acid rains and things like that around. And so because of that, sort of knowledge of it drifted from time. People kind of, didn't go near it, so no one would. We're keeping very good records. But I've started to piece together where those are. Karu, you were wrangling votes, and so you did that. You're very good. You're keeping the crew on side. That was your downtime ability.
Cool.
And you were attempting to improve your strength, and I think you did succeed at that, but we didn't fall into where that was going to reward you with. I think we were looking at either a particular feat or a boost to your strength, which would have been negligible.
I thought there was like this idea of like him sourcing those potions of giant strength.
That's
and
right.
The idea was that I just get like a random one of those if I succeeded or something like that. I really like that idea because it's like, yeah.
I think that works. So you hit it dead on in terms of your downtime activity. So you're going to essentially find one of these, and I'm going to get you to roll a. Giant. We'll get you to roll a D something once I figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll a D6 for me, please.
A 1.
So you've found a potion of hill giant strength.
Yes, that's the one I had.
So that will obviously, upon imbibing, will give you a strength of 21 for 1 hour. The potion's transparent liquid has floating in it the sliver of a fingernail from a giant of the appropriate type. Possibly a toenail, possibly a fingernail
Nice.
sliver. Who knows? And so, with this kind of homework done, our session begins. The rolling waves. Oh, sorry, Killian.
I was gonna say sorry to jump in. I like the thought that Karu had one of those potions, and he's like, "I'm gonna get one. I need another one." And all these people are like, there are better ones. And he's like, "I want that one. Give me that one."
The problem is,
Right,
he can't remember what it looked like, so he just points at the one, and then he's like, "Yes, it's the one I had," and everyone's like, "Yeah, there are better ones." And he's like, "But it's the one I had."
It's the one I like. I know what it
But
does.
I like this one.
Hey, what if a stronger one gives you an upset tummy?
Yeah, I know that I can digest this one.
That is a fair reasoning.
Yeah, the one up has like coriander additives. And
No, how dare you?
Love it.
So as our session begins, the rolling waves and the creak of wood frame your current predicament. The party finds itself aboard the Emerald Wave, a well-armed merchant ship of the Emerald Trading Company, notorious for its secretive dealings and rumored connections to numerous port towns and pirate in the corporate sense legends. Amid a swirling evening fog, you've just subdued the crew and are rifling through the captain's quarters, searching for any records linked to Captain Featherstorm, the legendary Aarakocra pirate, whose treasures could turn the tide in your battle against the Storm Giant pirates. The first entry Paulie comes to when perhaps I don't know who would bring Captain Paulie the logbook or like the rutter. Who knows what to look for in books? Maybe Killian.
Like books.
So surely Paulie knows how to read, being a captain, but it's just dicey.
Killian would like bring him a book and be like, "Captain, I found this. Don't worry. Don't know how to read. I've already read the book, and I can just pull the knowledge out of my head and put it in yours if that's what you need.
Yeah.
But at least try to read it, please. We're trying to better ourselves here."
So and it's relatively simple because it's a shipping manifest, and it's not a novel. It's the kind of thing that it's entries, locations, map coordinates, and the first entry you come across says, "Make sure you subscribe to the channel." That must be in relation to some kind of hidden shipping channel amongst the island archipelago of Aurora. But you're able to find where this ship has been, the Emerald Wave, and where it has been recently. And one in particular is a trade route, an entry detailing a trade route to a new settlement being built, one that avoids a particular region known for its dangerous reefs and rumored supernatural storms. One of the entries, there's sort of a scribbled note in the margins that speaks of Featherstorm's folly near the Howling Spires. So, Killian, you've got scrolls, books, things that you've taken from the captain's quarters. Karu, what are you doing on this captured vessel as you're sort of the rest of the crew, Reynaud and that are bringing stuff up from the cargo hold and loading things that are valuable onto La Floridita?
Don't honestly know. I feel like he would just be helping out where he could. He's more of a up in the sails kind of guy, so
maybe you're still on the La Floridita. Maybe you're kind of holding watch.
Yeah.
In fact, why don't you give me a perception check?
Sure. Yep. Sorry. Oh, hey, 20.
Yeah, you can see there are no other ships on the horizon that you can make out. There is sort of an unsettling fog kind of starting to move in, which is definitely dampening your visible perception. On the wind itself, you don't pick up anything either. So you kind of you sniff the air. There's no eldritch monstrosities or anglerfish sea beasts
I was going to ask, does
nearby.
it seem like a normal fog, or does it seem like it's moving on its own in its own direction rather than like with the wind?
Excellent question. Give me a nature check.
Sorry, so my. Yep. Nope. Can't tell what direction it's going in.
How do you react? Is it like putting up a finger and being like, fog? Or
Yeah. I think he like stares so intensely at it that it turns into one of those magic eye puzzles for him, and he starts seeing like diagrams, and then he's like, ugh. And maybe he forgets why he was staring so intently at it.
excellent. Yama, what is his role in what is a criminal act here? You've subdued this ship and are taking most of its valuables off it. The crew were tied up. The captain, he looks like sort of this hardened sea veteran with a salt and pepper beard, and the first mate, she's sort of this half orc with kind of stormy eyes. What's Yama doing? Is he on La Floridita? Is he on the Emerald Wave? What's he doing?
I think probably Yama feels very torn about this. He sees the strength in like taking what we need and stuff. So maybe what he's doing is passing through the pirates that we have tied up, and he's
Oh, they're not pirates; they're merchants.
oh, sorry, the merchants. Yes, sorry. He's passing through the merchants and almost like propagandering them, like telling them about our like fight against the hobgoblin armies, which seems very contradictory, him being a hobgoblin, but he's almost trying to like redeem themselves and excuse what they're doing by speaking of the greater good to these people who are tied up and a literal captive audience, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what they get.
Yeah, but in doing that, maybe if he could like start a conversation with someone, he's always trying to get more information about where they've been, where they've come from, what they've seen. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what in particular are you like? What kind of information are you asking for? I mean, these people are, as you said, a captive audience. So
Yeah.
all the crew itself are tied up.
Yeah.
The probably the captain and the first mate are probably gagged, but you can
Yeah.
definitely like pull the gag out kind of thing.
Yeah, so
They
maybe
did- They did
oh, sorry.
surrender without fighting, so like that.
Yeah.
So, pirate code kind of dictates you don't kill anyone. Not that I think Yama would, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so at least they've been treated well. So maybe Yama squats by the captain and the first mate, and he is just oh, I'm so sorry about this, gentleman. We've been fighting fire giants and hobgoblins, and I just like have the waters been clear for you since unfortunately until you're run with us. Any ill weather or ill pirates along this route?
Give me a persuasion check. How friendly,
Here we go.
Can I assist?
Oh, a 9
Sure.
for 12.
I'll just stand behind with a big smile on my face.
Like,
Yes, roll with advantage, or roll a second.
oh, sorry. What am I doing? Persuasion. 17.
That's better.
That is better.
Yay.
Yeah, you get a bit of a like you're asking them like, oh, how have the seas been? Has it been fair weather or not? You get and then you sort of pull the the gag out. And the captain, who you've come to learn is Captain Elias Driftwood. He says, just sort of really kind of deadpan, almost like not quite emotionless, but just sort of very like matter of fact. He says there were storms for 3 days when we came upon Huma in Whisperwind Cove. We were unaffected. We have a good crew. We were able to unload our cargo for there, and it's only we had a brief respite of a clear day, which is obviously how you've spotted us, and then now the fog sets in.
Have you seen fog like this before in these parts?
He kind of looks around and says, "It is of no concern."
Of no concern to you?
Insight check.
Yeah, can we do insight check?
23.
He
cannot beat
legitimately seems unbothered.
Okay.
Your time on ships would perhaps tell you to like that. While fog isn't inherently dangerous, typically there are sort of monsters that could potentially lurk in fog. Also, like stumbling into an island or a reef could be a real problem. It would like many ships would be slow going. But this captain, perhaps because of his demeanor, because of his emotionlessness, seems to not be worried. Really, he's being genuine. He's not trying to.
Yeah.
It's not bravado. It's not haha. I'm not scared, but you should be. It's just he is not scared.
Okay.
And with the 26, Killian, I think you get like a little bit of a tinge of that emotionlessness is like through to the core of this guy. Like this isn't just an effect. It's like it seems to be built into.
Dude just does not give a shit. Okay. I'm gonna like lean down to this guy and be like, "Hey, how you doing, bud? Like, seem like a very stoic individual.
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
That seems good enough to me. Yeah.
Beats me, I guess. Like, yeah,
Cool.
Do you smile? Like, what are you?
There is no need.
I love this guy.
Okay. Well, have you? Hey, Karu.
Yes.
This guy's right up your alley. He's kind of weird.
Perfect, but I'm on guard. Tell him to come here. And Karu's like
He
staring at the
can't.
fog.
He's currently tied up. I can swap places with you if you like.
Karu comes over.
Yeah, I go to where Karu was. And I stand there with my arms crossed back to everyone, just brooding and looking into the fog.
The
You don't have to act it out, but Karu does the Joey from Friends. How you doing?
What do you mean you don't have to act that out?
the first mate, this sort of half orc, she
More
hands
alive, foolishly
tied.
seeking fortune and glory in this domain.
Oh,
of the
hey, D&D
damned.
Doctorates. Thank you very much for the raid. We're just in the middle of some D&D pirating. So the first mate, Lilia Stormwatch, she's bound there, her hands bound. She kind of shoves the captain a little bit and says, "Oh, don't mind him. He's got an asshole voice."
I love it. That's why I'm here.
Asshole voice.
And he just kind of turns to her and then looks at you and says, "I have no idea what she's talking about."
Sure you do. There's like a wink. And then, yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what you guys... And I think, Yama, are you here?
Yeah.
Kara's like, so I don't actually know what you guys are doing. I just came over because there was a hot person. Sorry.
And now he's left. You just hear Killian yelling out, "The hot person walked away."
The other hot person.
All right,
You're
never mind.
a co-worker.
That is
Yama's
true.
also walking away now.
We're all hot. Oh, damn.
Karu's standing
HR
there yelling,
wouldn't like
we're all hot. Standing in front of a tied-up half-orc with stormy eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor, and
Also
sort of
hot.
a human man with kind of that salt and pepper beard, and a sort of an intelligent gaze, but one that shows no emotion or fear, despite being in this sort of precarious position you have him in.
Kara's like, are you guys joining our crew? Because you're hot enough.
It's
I
all
agree with him.
we don't require any skills, just hotness.
That's our
The dumber
gauge.
you are, the better.
That's why I'm here.
The Captain Driftwood says, my charter is to the Emerald Wave and to the trading company. I will not be deterred from it. Even this act of piracy will not prevent me from being out on these waters again.
Karu does he's like, all right, man, don't let me stop you.
Do whatever you must to me, pirate, but I shall be out on these waves, delivering my cargo without fail.
Just
Don't tell him that.
Karu's just like, okay, I need to swap places.
I'm coming
Please.
back.
Thank
Slit
you.
the throat of everyone in my crew. Spill blood on the
Oh
on the deck.
That's-
Nothing will stay my feet from this
Karu's like,
course.
Karu's like, no, I'm sorry.
That's not the vibe. That's not the vibe that he was getting at.
Karu's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Whip
You're
and
both
stop
really
me all
hot.
you like, but I shall never surrender.
Just backed away.
No,
This
no,
point.
no one's
Killian's just
touching
gonna-
you, man.
Yeah, Killian's gonna come over and just put his hand on this guy's shoulder and be like, bro, dude, relax. Dial it back. You're inciting
Karu-
the other guy.
Karu goes back to just staring at the fog. Like just
Nobody gets my coworker all hot and bothered.
But me.
Yeah, it's my job.
Right, so the crew is sort of doing their final rounds. They've kind of loaded up. They've left some things behind, stuff that just seems, for the value to weight ratio, perhaps is not worth it. But and the cargo hold of this ship itself wasn't filled to the brim. It seems that they've done a couple of deliveries or something recently. But Paulie kind of calls it once he's seen enough of the cargo leaving, and he says, "All right, crew, we go." And he yep. Killian, yes.
Do you mind? Can I look over these guys and see if they have any cool like rings or something? It doesn't have to be magical. I'm gonna try out rings.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And we should scar one of them. Nothing big, but it
And do hand
We're
catches
gonna want-
fire.
yeah. Just like maybe brand one just a little bit, just slightly, because they don't want
What?
to go back saying
What?
we didn't put up a fight.
what?
Done.
So I'm
Can
gonna need a
do.
volunteer.
Karu's
Look,
just like, what is happening?
Yama's
Stoic
also
bro.
like, what? I think this guy's too into pain or something.
Stoic
So this is
bro.
Paulie, your captain, telling you.
Oh
that-
shit, okay.
Captain,
Yeah.
Captain, what? No.
What?
hey, Mr. Stoic dude. I feel like you like pain, hey?
He says, "I do not relish it, but if it will save my crew from any, I will take everything that you offer."
Do we
Killian,
really
you
need
have to be
to-
kidding. I don't think we need to do this. We've taken all
I'm
this
just-
stuff.
I'm gonna
We're gonna have
grab
a lot of
something out of my
explaining to
pocket
do.
and I'm gonna make like the top of a little Bic lighter. I'm gonna give him a little smiley.
And Paulie's like, all right, fine. Hold up, Killian, hold up. Just
Why?
just sort of singe his eyebrows off, okay?
Guys, no,
That can be
Captain,
enough.
Captain.
All right.
We don't need to. We've already stripped him of his dignity because
Does
we
he
have
have
tied
a
him up and taken
mustache?
things. No.
Yeah, but we need to make it. If if he goes back and he's
how
like,
about
I
this?
gave in. Hold on, Killian. If he goes back and says, oh, I gave in without a fight, they're gonna not put him back out
Leave-
here again. We
le-
want these kind of guys, so we got to make
No,
it look like he put up a fight.
leave
So he's
it-
got a
leave-
good story to tell when he goes back.
Captain, leave that up to him. Like
Wait,
that's
I've
all.
got
He
an
could
That's
have
idea.
one of his guys punch him.
That-
Why do
that's
we?
all-
I've got an
that's-
idea. It won't
that's
hurt
all
him, I
his
promise.
all.
And Killian's just like, I won't hurt him. Like, just
Just
hear
shave
me
one
out.
eyebrow.
That's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna find the guy with the biggest, most epic mustache. And I'm just gonna like pull out my dagger and just like quickly like wipe it on my coat like a leather strop, and then just like and get rid of his mustache and be like, ha
I think he looked better with the mustache.
Yeah,
and this is
why
a
would
day,
you do that?
You will never forget the day you messed with La Floridita. We go, crew.
Oh my
gonna, like,
Back.
I'm assuming the captain's got like a pinky ring or like a signet of some sort.
Oh yeah, you can get a little bit of jewelry off some people for sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the captain's ring. That's all I want. I just want to take his ring.
Could
Yeah.
I
Is
have
it-
fleeced them for maps?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think any kind of rutter and it'll take some time to go through them all, but you get a bunch of scrolls of maps of the area, especially for areas of islands they're heading to. And in fact, Paulie asks you to plot a course to this Huma village or whatever it is they've been to. I want you to get us safely through this Featherstorm Folly or Howling Spire or whatever thing they're talking about that just destroys ships.
Well, I rolled an 11. I'm no numb yet.
So you disengage from the Emerald Wave and kind of head out into the fog. Perhaps that shitty roll is because it's fog filled. There's no
Super foggy.
astronautical charts. There's no astrogation you can do, but you're heading out now. If we can, as this new arc begins, it's post BootyCon. It's been a couple of weeks since we've played. What do we see as we look at each member of the crew and kind of what position on the ship are they standing at? Killian, we'll start with you.
Killian will be up at the wheel. Just you see him like he's trying to like navigate and steer the ship, but he's also like looking around the wheel because the Christmas gift that he gave to Captain Paulie. He's trying to find a good place to like fit that, but at the same time he's doing his job, but he's a little bit distracted.
What's he wearing? Describe him. Paint me a word picture of him.
So basically, Killian, instead of being in his very long flowy coat, he's very much like the image that we have in front of us. He's got a nice little leather vest on, a nice button-up shirt, but he has ripped the sleeves off. You have to. It's a little bit frayed along the edges. He's trying to look a little bit more edgy, and some really tight leather pants that really accentuate his glutes. No shoes at the moment. It's just the dogs are out.
Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, he'll also actually. Do I have that spell still? No, I don't think I do. Never mind. He will not have his actual dog out either.
Okay.
But no shoes, tight leather pants, very small leather vest.
Reddish brownish skin.
Yeah. He's looking a little bit more just tanned. Like that red hue is starting to fade a little bit because he's been on the surface for a while in the sun. It's fading down. It's just his skin color is changing.
Cool. We'll go to Yama this time. What is Yama looking like on the on La Floridita? Return to La Floridita. What do we see when we look at Yama?
So Yama's probably post BootyCon. You guys have seen him very relaxed, which is very unusual for Yama. And I'd say now that he's back on La Floridita, they're back to work. He's back in his full gold plate armor. So he's looking very regal and shiny. He's buffed it all within like ultimate shine. He is an old, rugged hobgoblin man with his katana at his side. I'd say with his fairly failed cartographer, like navigator's check, that maybe he's turned back to his teas that he's been tinkering with. That was part of his downtime. I was successful in that, Dan, and we did pick a potion, which was potion of heroism, which he can now make out of tea components. So maybe he's tinkering with that to see what he can do. Maybe it's something that he's been able to reconstruct using the strange flowers and stuff that popped up during that BootyCon encounter, where all those like fey flowers and whatever popped up. So yeah, that's what he's doing, tinkering. But he would be, maybe I'd say he's on like the bow of the ship, still keeping an eye out, and still helping if the captain's like, "Which way do we go?" But he's tinkering.
Perfect. Karu, up in the rigging, perhaps. What do we see when we see the world's favorite fish boy?
Yes, Fish Boy Extraordinaire is definitely still up in the rigging, I would say. I don't think he'll ever give up that job. I think because he spent a lot of time getting to know the crew, because it was one of the things he was sort of doing with the getting the votes across, is maybe he has like a pretty big like camaraderie with the crew. Like maybe he's frequently engaging in games with them when they have a bit of time, like games of tag around the ship and weird stuff like that. He has adopted the fishnet look that he had for BootyCon into his standard wear.
Yes.
so he always was like sleeveless, and like his pants were always like cut off because he has to let his like lower like fins basically breathe like on his calf muscles, but instead like he kind of has like fishnet like tights on his arms and on his legs now. It's just all there. And his dogs were always out. I don't think Karu has ever worn shoes. So he really enjoys the fact that Killian has also gone shoeless, and he's looking at Yama and thinking it's only a matter of time.
Yama's got his big boots on.
It's like, I'm going to get those gold shoes off you one day.
Because Paulie doesn't wear shoes, right? Because he can't, I guess.
Yeah.
So no, that's perfect. There we go. There's fishnet Karu.
Way better.
Handsome
We're a
boys.
colourful bunch.
So sorry, run that by me again. So running, hanging out, rigging. Did you? Or did I? I got distracted by how handsome
The
you were describing
fishnets.
him as. Yeah, the fishnets.
That's
I got very
okay.
distracted.
I understand. That's how I go. Up in the rigging, but I think like he actually spends a lot of his time like goofing around with the crew, because I know that was something he was about getting votes in downtime. So like I like to think that maybe that has led to him just being like a bit of like the office clown, maybe.
Yep.
But on the ship.
Yeah, and I think in particular, perhaps you and Diana kind of Cloppington practicing the parkouring, racing up, who can race up to the yard arm first to trim the sail or whatever ship term is required. Some sort of ropes that need pulling, I'm sure.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, so her using her kind of shape-shifting abilities, and you using your, I'd say God-given tentacles, but perhaps science-given tentacles
Yes.
that let that happen. No, that's really cool. Eventually, after a couple of days of navigating, the fog starts to lift a little bit, and Yama, you kind of get the ship on track and start coming across things that were mentioned in the cruise rudder, in the Emerald Waves rudder. Obviously, you're almost like working it backwards because they've come from this place and you're trying to get there. So you're kind of taking their steps back of what they did and trying to reinterpret how you would approach that from the other side. And there are notes about how they exited or how they would approach Whisperwind Cove And the main one is, and obviously how they left it as well. But I guess you have to make the decision. Like, do you follow their same path, which is going to take longer, or do you try and sort of go in the way they left?
Mm. I don't think. Are we in a rush?
Don't
Sort
know.
of meandering about the oceans.
Yeah, so then maybe we do just take the longer route. Maybe the captain's only just got his ship back. Maybe it's best to keep it a bit fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want to scrape too many inches off the hull so soon after getting it off the parking lot, so to speak.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. Well, why don't we do a little bit of a skills challenge and see how the ship is going to
Ooh.
hold up. Because you're going to take a bit of a longer path. Maybe it's going to it can happen over several days, for example. And why don't we start with you, Yama, seeing as you're the main guy. You're the big cheese when it comes to
navigator.
navigating. What are you going to use to begin the skills challenge?
Well,
You-
let's go in with cartography then.
Love
Let's
that.
say he's pulling his resources, looking for the safest route as we head in. Let's see. Oh, natural 20 plus 5, 25.
Nice.
Why don't you describe to me what this looks like?
I think maybe there was some stuff that was missed on the map, and maybe this natural 20 kind of allows him to like interpret the waters, interpret the geographical formations off the coast, and he kind of fills in a little bit, and we happen to miss maybe a little bit of a hidden shoal or something off to one side that might have run us aground or done some damage.
Absolutely. I think as well, you actually find in some of the notes and perhaps some of the other books that were seemingly unrelated to begin with, thanks to this natural 20, that the town this place used to be called where is it? Feng Huang, probably sort of like 100, 200 years ago, something like that. And the city was lost or destroyed. And you find notes for what they were bringing to this city or this new village was like building supplies. Someone is obviously
Ooh.
endeavoring to rebuild this town.
Now Yama feels bad that he's taken their supplies.
Well, they'd already dropped off the supplies. They were
Oh,
coming from
okay.
this place. I mean, there were. You see that their next stop was obviously an orphanage where they were going to drop off a bunch of newly made toys for the kiddies. I'm sure you left all those behind though.
If not, Yama's totally gonna finish that job. Side quest.
Who wants to jump in next?
Me-
I'll jump in.
No, you go.
I want to be like standing up at the wheel still. The wheels. I like to think our wheel has like a Sea of Thieves compass stuck to the actual ship. And I want to use Arcana to see if I can influence the compass into gleaming a good bearing or heading for us to move towards. Instead of taking us north or pointing north, more like a Pirates of the Caribbean style compass, take us to something that would benefit us.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, well, I'd be happy to rephrase it slightly as maybe you get magical interference to the compass, so you're trying to overcome that. But I don't think you necessarily, unless you have magic that just goes point me in direction of the dungeon master's next plot hook. I'm not sure what kind of magic.
Divination.
Okay, yeah.
So I could use some divination magic
Mhm.
on the compass to be like, point us in the right direction.
No, I'm down for that. Yeah, I'm down for that. So I just needed the
Alright.
specificity.
Yeah.
I know magic can kind of
22.
do everything, but
I'm a
22 's
magic
good.
boy.
So why don't you describe to me what that looks like?
I will while we're floating, puttering along, I'll need to pull up my notes real quick. I'll close my eyes for a second with my hand on the wheel, envisioning the compass, and I'll reach out to Mistra and just say, take us towards more favorable winds.
I even wonder, like with divination, are you like almost like seeing the future and going like, "Oh, we run aground that way, move 1 degree this way," you know?
Doctor
Uh,
Stranging it up.
Doctor Stranging it a little bit because there's sort of reef all around you, and you're kind of navigating through what appears to be kind of a deeper channel in between it. But perhaps a wrong turn or even going down the deeper parts, maybe some of them are dead ends, etc. Reaching out with your magic to kind of plumb the depths of the future and keep the ship on the right course.
Bit of divine sonar.
Yeah. You're pinging for like terrible futures instead of specifically
A rock.
That's
a
so
rock.
dope.
Yeah. Karu.
Sorry, I was just checking if I wasn't on mute. My chair squeaks whenever I move, so I kind of mute myself a lot whenever I have to make a big movement. Otherwise, you're just going to hear. Roar. That's just.
It might be like the ship creaking.
Yeah, that's the sound of the ship.
It's-
I can't get it to do it now.
you can't do it, of course.
I would like to use acrobatics to be essentially like in the rigging, sort of like pulling the necessary ropes required so that when Yama says, "Oh, there's a hidden shoal there," or when Killian says, "No, our future is that way," like I'm basically responding quickly, hopefully.
I love that.
Nope, no, I don't. I
Oh,
fall out of the rigging.
Oh no.
Splat.
Yeah.
Just lands next to me on the deck, just like, whoa, shit.
And it
You
just
okay,
like
bud?
pulls himself up. He's like, "Oh, I may have missed that last turn. Hang on."
I find that hilarious.
It's really amazing.
Look, I did say I was the office clown, so this is just part of that, as far as I'm concerned.
Really succeeding there.
Yeah, manifesting that clown energy.
Well, what that means, I didn't set this up in time because I didn't realize we're going to need it.
You thought we were all going to succeed. I love your
thought
confidence in
You're
me.
all just going to be great.
No one's going to roll under a 10. Gosh,
That'd be dumb. That'd be silly.
that'd be so weird.
And it was a critical fail too, which I'm definitely going to. I mean, I paid the critical success. We got to pay the critical fail here. Can you roll 2d6 for me, please?
Oh no. Seems bad.
A 2 and a 3. Came up as a 5, sorry.
That's fine. A 5 total is good. We love a 5 total. Link data. So I'm going to drag the stats of La Floridita here and take 5 health off the ship.
Wah.
Karu's falling on the deck did that much damage? God damn.
This is a small hole in it now.
There's like a cartoon Karu shape.
I think more specifically, Karu falling on the ship is not grabbing the ropes that are required, and the ship does not make its turn as fast. And you hear the scraping or the squeaking of Katie's chair as just the reef kind of collides with the bottom of the ship.
I think I like our interpretation better, but that's fine.
Or a Looney Tune style hole.
Yay! And a water spout comes up out of it.
Yeah. Very good. Back to the top of the round.
Oh, again. We go again. Okay.
Uh-oh. That was like my best thing. We're stuffed.
Well, maybe then backing off the heels of Karu missing that rope that he needed to pull in order to follow the directions of Yama and Killian, I might roll an athletics to maybe jump on that rope as it goes like listing off to the side, and he's gonna try and correct it and like pull it across or something. So he's gonna use his strength basically. So this is an athletics roll. 16 for a 23.
We love that. Great. So yeah, you feel the scraping on the bottom of the ship. There's a couple of perhaps this is over the course of many hours. Karu, you're trying to get to every rope you can and pull, and when they say like hard to port, etc., you're just not fast enough today for some reason. Perhaps too much time park-harrowing has kind of tuckered you out. And so the ship is sort of careening from side to side like a bad Mario Kart player and just hitting the edges of these reefs. And Yama, you're able to eventually kind of bring up the slack and start turning the wheel hard, grabbing ropes, and just, I imagine even like just using pure strength. Instead of tying off the ropes, you're just like wrenching the sails into the right positions to give you that kind of extra oomph. Love that. Killian.
I will. Can I, keeping an eye out over the horizon, could I argue an investigation check using my cool devil eyes to see anything off in the distance that might be worrisome? Like maybe there's storms. It looks like there might be traces of storms brewing in that area, so we should try to go this way based off the information that I got before.
Mm-hmm. So how is this investigation different from just looking for something perception?
Because I'm actively investigating the routes that we could be taking instead of just perceiving what's going on.
Yep. No, I like that. So you're kind of like, you're looking ahead through the maze of safety through the reefs, and kind of looking for that right path with full vision. I'll allow that. 27. Very good. Investigation 27. So yeah, describe that to me. How does Killian do that? What is he using to determine safety, and then how does he convey that to the team?
He's like, because he's currently steering the ship. He's looking out over the horizon as best he can from where he's standing. And maybe you see some storm clouds off the port side, and he's like, Then he looks to the other off the port, and I can't remember the other one.
Starboard
Side, and he sees more storm clouds, and he's like, those ones look like they're passing quicker, so they may move along and join up with the other storm cell over there. So I think we should go that way. And then he'll yell out, adjust the rigging, and then look down at Karu and be like,
Yeah, I'm still flat face.
we need to go that way. Karu, get back up. And then we'll also do the old Sea of Thieves move where he jumps off the wheel and quickly adjusts the sails as best he can on his own. He's like, gotta do everything myself. Oh.
Yeah. Like, I'm imagining just as like some other crew member, like, Reynolds there, sort of starting to move the thing. You're like, out of the way. Just like,
quicker.
Yeah.
Mine's a little far-fetched because I was going to use investigation, but
no, it's been ruined.
Nah, we're going. I would like to use nature to Karu, essentially, like, Killian's like, oh, there's a storm cell there and there. We should go this way to avoid them. I like to think that Karu, being a fish boy, maybe understands how, like, the air and the water changes when storms are, like how people's hair go up when they're about to be struck by lightning, like that vibe. And so he's like sticking his tongue out into the wind and then like putting his tentacles like into the water as we're going to check the nature to see if he can help the direction more.
Sure.
I like it.
I just like the idea that he just face splattered on the deck, and the first thing he does is sit up and stick his tongue out.
The little bit of blood on it because he's bit his tongue.
He's like, oh my god, again!
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh no!
The bad luck is with you.
Do you want to describe to me, Karu, how this ends terribly, please?
Oh my god, so unlucky.
I mean, I said I was like sticking with my tentacle in the water. Do I fall off the ship?
Yeah, I think you're like, okay, you stick your tentacle in, you're like, I can. The water's really cold. We need to move, closer to land or something, like closer to the echoing cliffs, right? There's maybe cliffs off to the side as you're making your way around this island. You're like, the water's too cold here. We need to move closer. And in doing so, there's just sort of a loud bump as you almost like skip over a sort of bit of shallow reef, and a wave comes in and just knocks Karu into the reef, under the ship itself, rolling under before you can kind of grab on again. Would you like to take the damage, or would you like the ship to take the damage?
I'll take the damage.
All right, can you roll 2d10 for me, please?
Oh, okay.
Rough.
That's fine. I fell off a ship. 12.
And a lesson in, wearing motorcycle leathers and not just going in a mesh crop top, because you can lose a lot of skin coming off a vessel, as Karu just kind of rolls under the ship itself and is almost like minced a little bit between the ship and the reef, before
and the barnacles.
Yeah, between the barnacles and the reef, just something slices you up good, and eventually, though, as you're able to get a hand on the tiller and on the back of the ship and kind of park Karu your way back up.
I don't know how much it's parkarian. It's more just like, I'm just going to haul myself up and I'm just going to sit at the back for a little bit. Just
maybe what is the most upsetting thing, and it's not the sort of blood that you left behind in the water and the sort of superficial cuts and scrapes you've gotten, but what was an immaculate fishnet top now has like a couple of small holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because you can only have like perfect fishnets for, once they're done, it's like, I'm still going to wear them, but now I'll always see that hole.
Yeah, no, he's just like picking at a really large hole in his wrist that's just like, there's a cut under it and he's not paying attention to the cut. He's just looking at the hole going, I don't think this is repairable.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll find another one of those in this tiny village.
No.
Love that. That's 2 failures. Let's go one more round and see how we do.
2 failures by just me.
By just
everybody
Karu.
else is fine. Everybody else has been getting over 20, and I'm like, ones.
You've got to. If someone didn't just use athletics, you could use a giant potion just to. Also, I've given you a skills challenge. The one time you don't have the rogue who has reliable skills,
right?
Reliable talent. That's such a cheat. All right. Well, I'm going to yikes. Well, how about perception to get us kind of back on track as we're maybe like the ship's listed to the side as Karu was trying to maybe like use the waves and the rip tides and whatever to guide us in. So I might just like maybe Yama's going back to basics and looking at where the rocks are jutting out of the water and kind of directing us from there. So perception. Let's do it. Come on. Oh, an 11.
Oh no. Sorry.
Yuck. Yuck. There's hidden rocks, not the ones that come out of the top of them. Oh damn.
Yeah, I think you definitely kind of think you've got a good spot again of like where we can make it happen, but perhaps with the way light refracts, what looks like a deep patch, objects in the reef are closer than they appear in the mirror, kind of thing. You scrape some more sort of off the ship, and in fact, perhaps you take it close to some of the cliffs, and maybe part of a mast, gets nicked by some sort of low hanging overcrop or whatever. And I'm going to get you to roll 2d6.
Oh, imagine like Timmy coming back and we've like destroyed his ship on this fucking reef. 5.
All good. And sweet. I mean, the ship normally has 42 hit points. It's down to 32 now, so it's taken
Okay.
sort of a quarter of its damage.
I feel like it's taken more damage just us steering it than when we had a ship and we were faced against the giants who were throwing rocks at us.
Yes, when we were actually fighting shit.
and the anglerfish. Like, I feel like we are being destroyed. This is the new doors thing, like not being able to open a door in D&D. We're not able to steer the ship around a reef.
To come into a port.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so perception was a bust. Killian and Kara, 2 more chances to succeed or fail.
We heard
Thank
the
you.
fail first.
Thank you for acknowledging me.
We know much. Have we got maps of this region that we're in?
There's
much information.
There's a general map of like this is an island and it's like near these islands, but the instructions I think Yama was going by from the ship's rudder is more like, go here for travel in this direction for 5 minutes and then turn east 3 degrees and then like so it's almost like it's almost like just directions of how to get to the post office more than a specific map, right?
Yeah, like when you stop at a country town. Hey, mate, where's the nearest pub? Up, go east on this street, then take a left, then it's like, Jesus.
Yeah. Go to the red tucker box, but no, not the brown tucker box. Like if you go to the brown tucker box, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to try and use history, thinking back to other ships, and omens that I've heard on the waves from other sailors and pirates. Still just trying to steer this ship and keep it afloat. That's a bad omen sort of thing. Crows overhead, maybe we go this way sort of thing.
Uh-oh.
Jesus, 12.
God damn it.
So yeah, you kind of think back, but then you realize like all the ideas that are coming to mind, like is how to navigate the river Styx, which runs through the 9 hells. Like if you're on the boatman's, if you're making your way through the different layers of hell and you're on the river Styx, like watch out for skulls that are bursting into flame on the riverbank. That means you're in like this area and you need to be careful. Like none of that is easily coming to you at hand, and the regular plane idioms of like how to be safe when navigating shallow waters, they're just not coming to you right now.
Mm-hmm. Does Yama have that aura on?
Yama's
That's for
aura helps with
saving
saving
throws.
throws.
Yeah, so it's not skill checks. That would be super OP.
Yeah, well.
Would you like to take damage, Killian, or would you like the ship to take damage?
Oh, I'll take some damage. I don't want to sink our ship the first time we've sailed.
Roll 2d10 for me, please.
Yep. $11
damage.
Yep. And is this Oh no, it's not an AC based one. I was gonna say, can I cast shield?
No.
Yeah,
Love where your
okay.
head's at, but no.
Yeah, I was like, yes, I can get out. No, I can't.
Very cool. All right, so you're trying to hold the ship's wheel as you're like going into a weird spot. You're like, oh no, yeah, you've got to go close to Cliffs of Despair, in the Nine Hells. That's always safe, but there's branches that are getting raked over the deck of the ship, and you're just getting cut up by these things as you're making your way around these sheer cliffs like jagged teeth.
He's gonna mark on the map the jagged teeth,
Mhm.
and then a skull and crossbones, and then underneath that, in brackets, a void. Hurts.
Very good. Karu.
Another maybe a little out of the box. So Kara is obviously pretty relatively well banged up. He got cut up a lot, so they maybe saw him go over on the side of the ship, but then he came up the back of the ship, and he's come up like what's the word? I can't think of the word. Is just like, thank you. And he's just like, and he's like, maybe he's groaning because he just fell off the rigging and then fell off the ship. He's all cut up. And maybe like his blood has like stained his fishnet, so his arms look really kind of weird. Actually, like it's like there's one of those weird red tool schism video tendrils coming out of his arms. I would like to try to an intimidation roll, in the sense that like I've come out and I'm like, we gotta get this ship moving. We gotta get and he's just like yelling at people in this like borderline his feral voice, and he doesn't look like the Karu that fell off the ship. And he came out the wrong side. So as far as anyone else is concerned, is that Karu?
Yeah, and I love that. So yeah, especially because you were doing a lot of the rope pulling and whatnot. Killian having to do a lot of that as well. Motivating the crew with fear, I think, is a great play.
I don't have a lot of good skills. This is not a good one, but it's better than a lot. Oh Jesus! I rolled a 2.
Are you kidding me? You're getting better. You're getting better.
I just really quickly want to do another roll, not to count for anything.
You just use
okay,
one of
the...
We have inspirations. Let's make it count.
You have 5 inspiration points.
Do it.
I'm going to use one to at least reroll that intimidation.
And remember, there's always, if you can make a case for it, there's always, like a strength-based intimidation is a thing that can happen. So
it's the same. It's the same for me.
Sure, but I mean, like
they're both +4.
Okay, sorry. I know you don't have a lot of good skills. It's dexterity-based intimidation, if you could really sell it.
Backflips.
Yeah, big scary.
Climbing out of the depths with all your tentacles out like a Slender Man.
Yeah, all bloodied up, and then I just like fling myself up into the rigging.
Hey, I like that.
All right, well, I can go for a strength.
I mean, I'm also happy to just shiv you and if you just want to take some damage as well, like that also works.
I feel like that's, you know what? I kind of like the comical aspect of Karu just completely failing this and being of absolutely no use.
I think
so. I'll take damage.
All right. So I think you climb up. The kraken tentacles off your back, kind of coming up over the side. Dripping barnacles and seaweed and coral and maybe like a starfish over one eye, as you clamber onto the ship itself. And I think maybe like Diana is there, having just like come out from underneath the hold, is coming up top, sees you as you like leap up or attempt to kind of leap up into the rigging and gonna get caught, and she just screams and like hits you with an oar, and it's just like ah.
Oh god, Karu just like lands on his face again on the deck, and he's just like, "It's me."
Oh, no.
I'm just trying to help.
Love that. Roll 2d10 for me, please.
God damn it.
That's nice.
9.
Easy done. You got hit by an ore. You're all good.
I'm fine.
Happens all the time.
Excellent. Well, you've solved my navigation puzzle, I guess, my reef puzzle, and I'm very proud of you
how
all.
to hurt Karu puzzle.
Yeah, emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Here we go. So I'm just grabbing my little bit here. As you approach the, you kind of come round the corner of the cliffs here. You can see it cuts away from the sheer jagged like teeth of the cliffs, and you see beaches, kind of black sand mixed with shards of ancient luminescent shells. You can see more of the interior of the island itself. Seems to be kind of dense with twisted jungles, and there's kind of like a whisper coming out on the wind as it kind of howls through the cliffs towards you. It almost sounds kind of like the moaning and wailing of the dead, as you can kind of hear this. Whoa, whoo. But it's, don't even worry about it. Undead aren't real. They can't hurt you. It's obviously just the wind through the sort of the jagged teeth of the echoing cliffs, hence their name.
Killian just grabs onto Karu. He's like, "Don't worry. Anything undead comes at us, I'll light it on fire."
And you actually hear the end of Killian's comment there. You hear fire, 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 fire echo throughout the cliffs.
Weird.
Karu's like, don't tell them your strategies.
Killian just
strategies.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Clicks his finger.
Yeah. I think for like 5 minutes we probably are just going echo, echo, echo.
Killian's like standing there like, "Hey!" and hoping that someone says something back, and then nothing comes back. He's like, "Well, fuck you."
Fuck you.
Doesn't understand an echo at all.
Yeah, like sometimes it echoes back, sometimes it doesn't. When you yell "fuck you," like it sounds like it's echoing back "fuck you," but you can also maybe hear "no you, no you."
Killian's like, there's definitely someone over there yelling at us, and then when he hears like the different thing that is said come back at him, he's like, "See, someone over there. No, fuck you." Throws a fucking firebolt in a general direction.
As you kind of get through, the mists have cleared, the outlines of Whisperwind Cove become visible, and it's got sort of those dense forests, jagged cliffs looming above the azure waters, and you can see what looks to be the damaged town. The cove kind of opens up to a path lined with makeshift barricades, hastily assembled shelters, and you can see what kind of looks like a group of people kind of outside the town itself. Like further in the town, you can see dilapidated buildings, a fishery, kind of a barge yard, etc., and what appears to be almost like a broken down tower in the center of the town. And the town itself is kind of ringed with a bedraggled wall, a Karu-style wall that looks like it's been through the ringer, perhaps a little bit. And it kind of looks a little bit like this. Oh wait, I don't know if you'll be able to see this.
Nope.
No, we don't own any
No
tokens.
token.
How's this?
Oh, that looks awesome.
Looks like
Ignore the name of the
this-
town, but
Looks like this town is made almost exclusively of wood with thatch roofs. This is a terrible place for Killian to be. And
Yeah,
he may
yeah.
burn it down
Town.
by accident.
Yeah, Kara's like Killian. Maybe not fire.
But I like it.
I know,
Like-
but so does
Like
wood.
it.
Small flame at the tip of his finger.
I know, I like it too. However, lots of wood.
Killian also would just pull like a cigarette out of his back pocket. He's like, then lights it with his finger. He's like, I recently took up smoking.
Did you do it? Do you do it purely because you can light things? Is that
yeah, oral fixation.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
yeah.
I picked up some habits at BootyCon. This is the least worrying one.
I am now worried.
It's okay. It's fine. I got a lot of
I-
work in though.
Karu eyes you suspiciously.
I studied those maps for a week. Great.
Maddie pushing us closer towards the wild magic surge. Thank you, Maddie.
Ooh. Dan, some housekeeping. I
Mhm.
forgot about that awesome spell that we had that could buff the ship. Could we say I've been doing that for the past, did you say 7 days at sea?
Sure. What was the spell? Remind me of that.
Sorry, it was the spell that in enhanced vehicle ship. It was the one that if we cast it 30 consecutive days, it becomes a lingering buff
Okay.
on the ship.
Yeah. And
I
what
just
does that
wanna add-
what does that buff do every time you cast it?
So it's a +2 bonus to AC, and the speed increases by 10 feet. And then there's some special abilities as well if the vehicle's pulled by some creatures. But basically it does a 30-foot cube. And lasts for 24 hours. And yeah, if I do it for 30 days, it stays.
Cool. So you're effectively going into each day for the next 30 days with one less spell. Is that?
Exactly. So I've marked it off already.
I think that's cool.
basically.
I love that.
Sweet. And I've written it down so I can keep track of the days. So was it 7?
Yeah, we'll say it's been 10 days.
10
so far.
days. Nice.
Yeah.
Bonus. Sweet. Thank you.
All good. Cool. So yeah, you approach, and there's roughly sort of 50 people standing in a clearing off the road, and you can, as you're kind of approaching from the south, you can see the rest of the town kind of loom up ahead of you. The town itself kind of looks eerily quiet and obviously very run down, and somewhat abandoned. And the only things that you can see moving are these people in this. It's almost like a wagon circle, with hastily erected tents and stuff outside. They're kind of focused on themselves. They don't. I guess that maybe they don't see your ship immediately. You guys kind of spot them first. What is the plan? Where do you want to bring the ship in?
I mean, I think Karu maybe leans in and whispers to Killian just because we're standing at the nearby and just be like, hey, so what are we? I was distracted by the hot people we had tied up. What are we doing here?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Cool. Hey, Captain.
Yes.
What are we doing here?
Oh, didn't I tell you my incredible, brilliant plan?
You could have. No, credit where credit's due.
I
You-
also
you
don't
might
think
have.
so.
Okay, no, you didn't. If Yama and Killian don't remember,
That might have just been a dream I had. I'm so sorry. And he kind of gets up, and puts one foot up on the gunnel in a heroic kind of pose. Behind him, this desolated town. So it's really not very heroic looking. But he's just like, we need to save those people taken by the evil storm giants. And I just want to stab the eye out of that other storm giant, of the storm giant king, because I'll tell you right now, he was a dick. And what we need is a big giant killing weapon. Well, okay, we have one. Yama. You're a big giant killing weapon. But we need 2 of those because one's not enough. So I figured
Killian's just in the background with his hand in the air.
Yeah, both Karu and Killian are like,
Kara covered in blood. Just
not me.
2 natural ones within like 12 seconds.
I'm pretty good
Killian-
at killing things.
Paulie turns to you, Kill, and says, "There'll be time for questions at the end."
I love it.
But my speech will be so good, it will answer all your questions, so don't even worry about it. We've been hearing all these stories, and we've even got that recording of Captain Featherstorm, famed, probably the second most famous Aarakocra pirate we've ever heard of. Of course, the first one being me. And he lived like 100, 200 years ago, and he fought giant pirates all the time. He was all pow, pow, and they couldn't catch him, and he, found ways to take them out. So I've figured out, he must have had a stash somewhere on these islands where he left all his treasure before he died. We're going to go in and get it. In there will be some cool magic shit that Killian will be able to turn into a bomb or something, and we'll just blow that storm giant pirate out of the sky. And once he's grounded, we can, get all our friends and go kick his teeth in.
So you don't know that there's big magic giant killing weapons, but you know there's treasure?
What better treasure could there have been apart from big giant killing treasure?
Well, I mean, can't argue with that.
He wouldn't have been a very good Aarakocra pirate who was out there swashbuckling with giants all the time unless he had a way to take them off their big high horses in the sky.
Sure. I think we know what you're about, Captain. You like treasure. It's okay. We can just be here for treasure. You don't have to do the whole, there's going to be big magic weapons in that treasure. It's okay.
Well,
we can have a treasure stop before we take out the giants. It's fine.
My fallback plan, thanks to, what Killian's been reading and he's been telling me stories that some of them a little boring, if I gotta be honest. A lot of numbers, a lot of big words.
The numbers matter. They're
Sure.
not big words. School is not a big word. Well, okay. I was trying to teach him how to read.
Nah.
Well. Yeah. Well.
But he talks a lot, but occasionally he hits on a brilliant gem. And Killian's been looking into the Giant Forge because that's where they must have taken that Starforge, exactly, where they took that dwarf we forgot to rescue. So if we can find perhaps where that is, and that's an old thing that was built by the giants, and Captain Featherstorm was haranguing them all the time, he probably has a map to where that is. So we just need to go there, find his secret stash, get all his maps, find out where the treasure in the forge is. I can maybe upgrade my big sword, and we go, put it in the eye of the storm giant pirate.
But do you have any idea where this treasure may be, or are we just going to go island to island and hope for the best?
That's a really good question. I also want to. I +1 to that question.
+1.
Upvote.
Yeah.
Bump.
Necro upvote. No, necro bump. In all I had to go to so many taverns and lose so many games of poker to get these stories. You have no idea how much these stories cost me. But at BootyCon, I've been hearing all the stories about Captain Featherstorm. This reef that we just expertly navigated is called Featherstorm's Folly. So I reckon
The shattered teeth.
Well, those are the cliffs. Those are the cliffs that are on the side.
Okay.
At least the nickname for the reefs that some people call it is Featherstorm's Folly. So I reckon he was probably around here a bunch, hence why they, named it after him. And there's cool stories about, the big tower that I admit, does not look like much now, seeing as it's in ruin in the center of this town, was rumored to be, a perch of his occasionally. He would come in and visit and stuff. So if we're going to find his secret stash, it's probably going to be near here somewhere.
So are we just going to check out his ancient, what is essentially a toilet?
Well, yeah, I mean, I poop on valuable things all the time. That's why I'm always pooping on you, Killian.
Never poop on me though. Am I not valuable?
I think that's for the
you
best,
can-
Karu.
You can take your turn if you'd like, Karu.
I know, I'm okay. I just, let's go check out that tower, hey? That's where we're going, right?
Can we just take a moment? 10 minutes. I need to confer with the gods.
What?
Huh?
I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna ask Mistra if we're going in the right direction. Because if it's no, our captain, as much as we already know he's an idiot, he's even more of an idiot. So
I mean, I know we're going in the right direction. My instincts have been on point today. So we don't even need whatever you were gonna do. We should
how you feeling, bud?
Yama's just watching.
Kara's swaying a little bit. He's like, we're good. I can
Killian
lead
just
us.
flicks a little bit of sweat onto one of the cuts. yeah. Works for me, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Let's go.
Well,
That was not me. That was not me metagaming you to not do that. That was just
Yeah, I know.
Karu cracking,
Yeah.
being we're fine.
Killian's just whatever, man.
well, Yama's also going to take 10 minutes to summon his warg companion anyway.
Okay.
So
Karu's
he's also
just
going
gonna
to
sit
use
down.
10 minutes.
Okay.
But I can heal you up, Karu. How many points are you down?
It's fine. I'm fine.
It's free healing. I've got a big pool of healing. Yama rubs his hands together and golden sparks come out.
I could just I can fly over there and just check out the tower if you want. It may be really. Does it look like there are people in this town, or just the people outside of the town?
It currently looks like there's a bunch of people outside of the town in hastily kind of erected, almost no, there seems to be almost like caravans or wagons out here. They're milling about. They seem to be having some kind of meeting or conversation with each other. As you get a little bit closer, you can see that there is some of them kind of shouting at each other. And there's at the center of it all is kind of an enraged dwarf waving her arms around, trying to get those around her to kind of listen.
Yes, Yama, I will take some healing, some of your golden healing. I'm 20 points down, 21 points down.
All right, consider it gone.
I-
Killian?
Hmm?
And Yama goes,
are you about to zap me?
yes.
Okay.
His hands are pulsing with golden light.
Killian will take it.
How much?
11.
11. Done.
I kind of want to sneak up and see if I can listen to what those people are arguing about. Or do we just want to just
I
go
can
up to them?
distract them and scare the shit out of them if you want. I can fly over on a dragon.
Stop. I thought you were going to say fireball.
I could just fireball them. That would definitely.
I mean, I could do that
intimidate them.
too. If that's what we-
Maybe no. Can't always be first answer fireball.
Well,
Not saying it's never the answer. Just
we
not
could
the first
tell
one.
them that we're here to offer aid.
But we're not.
But it might. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the captain and I can get a little closer and see if we
Okay.
can glean anything.
Some listening.
Yeah. Paulie does the silent flyover, and Karu does the silent sneak. It looks like the caravans and the pitches are kind of close to the water, so maybe Karu does it that way.
So I
Yeah.
don't summon.
Hold off on
A
the dragon. Hold
Okay.
on.
So they've gone, and Yama's just standing there going, no.
I'm gonna do a stealth, I'm gonna do a stealth roll.
Killian's gonna ready his summon draconic spirit, and it's going to be a amethyst gem dragon.
That's dope.
So, but
Necrotic.
take one step back.
Sorry.
The ship is slowly coming towards.
Oh, we're not even
We
on
were
land
off
yet.
the ship. I thought we
Get
were off
away,
the
anchor.
ship.
We've just already disembarked ourselves.
We're already in the tower.
We got off the ship. The ship just kept going.
I mean, you've got a crew who can manage the ship, drop anchor, or whatever. That's fine. I'm just wondering, where do you disembark the ship, or where do you take the ship to disembark? And
I mean-
you could definitely sneak up to the shore, but if anyone looks out onto the ocean in the next minute or two, they will see a ship coming close to the island. If you can see them on the land, they can see you, right?
You could.
That is
you guys
true.
could sneak off and kind of come at them from another angle, but while we
They'll
dock the
see
ship.
us.
I mean, I was going to go through the water, and Captain
Yeah.
can fly, so we can don't necessarily need to dock the ship at the dock. There's sort of we just drop anchor a little bit out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
See if
Could
they're
I-
hostile or if there's a threat or something.
Yeah, maybe the moment that we see that there are people, we just drop anchor or something.
Could I flavorfully ride my draconic spirit? Because it can do physical damage to things.
Does
Can
that
it
mean
fly?
you can flavorfully?
Yeah, it can fly.
Flavor
Right in
Flav.
Yeah, I don't see
Slave
why not.
slave?
I mean, you
Slave
also have wings.
Fred
Yeah, I
Mr.
know, but I want to
Flavor Flav.
summon the dragon. It has more light speed than I
He
do.
just wants to destroy things, Dan.
No, I'm not even going to destroy.
He just wants to shoot fireballs. All
No,
day.
no, no, no,
Summoning
no,
a necrotic dragon.
no. I'm just getting a dragon out. It's fine, guys.
Well, just casual.
And it
Just
was
a
more like
casual
we could leave the
dragon.
ship. We could
They're
leave
not
the
gonna be
ship back a little bit,
terrified.
and then I could get on the back of the dragon and then pick up Yama and fly us over. The taxi dragon.
Does it say that in the?
It's a
No,
yellow.
it's
It's a
a
yellow
summon.
dragon. It's a yellow taxi dragon.
It's a big yellow taxi
It
dragon.
has to turn its light on and off to signify that it's got a
It
job.
just shoots fireballs in the sky. That's its light.
Yeah.
If it's of large size,
Yeah.
then I think it can carry you both. That's fine.
Dope.
Hell yeah! All right, well, we'll let.
Gumma's just like.
All right, Captain, Karu, you guys sneak over there. We'll drop the anchor here. We'll meet you over there. Don't worry about it. We know how to get there.
Karu, as he's submerging into the water from the side of the ship, sees the big dragon with the big
No, he
gold
hasn't done
boy.
anything yet.
Well, okay. Well, I like to think maybe as he's making his way towards the shore in
Yeah.
the water, he's just that seems counterintuitive to
Yeah,
sneaking.
you just hear a dragon's roar.
That okay.
And then I'll climb up on my dragon. When I summon it, I like to think that I also summon a what do you call it? God damn it, a saddle on the back of my dragon. And I climb up onto my dragon. And I'm like, what's your name? Because it is a draconic spirit. It's its own thing.
Fine, I'll create a dragon name for you.
Yes. Got it.
It was an amethyst.
Yes. All right, amethysts are the necrotic ones, right?
I don't know.
Or are they
Amethyst gem
thunder?
dragon.
They might be thunder. Either or. Doesn't matter. Amethyst.
Okay. This one tells you its name is Thalindrax.
Sally. All right, cool. Or do you like Drax? What would you prefer? Lindrax?
Lindra?
Lindra. All right, Lindra it is.
Lindra to my friends, yeah.
Okay, how you doing, Lindra?
You're good. So where are we raining down fire, horror, and death today?
Well, it may be over. You see the town over there. Maybe over there. We haven't assessed the situation yet. I just need you to come with us and look really imposing but
I can-
don't act unless I tell you to. Because these
The
people that we're
boss-
talking to, they could be really, really nice.
they
But
could
they
be.
could have some enemies that you can eat.
Yes, I like that.
I'll find something for you to eat. Don't worry. We'll
Perfect.
figure it out.
I love eating in the
Alright.
material plane.
Hell yeah! All right. So, I summoned you with a saddle. Do you mind if I saddle up?
Please do.
All right. Awesome. Jump on. I'll be like, hey, Yama. Do you want to try to get up here with me, or do you want me to just carry you?
Carry me and drop me dramatically before the people.
From how high?
20 feet.
Okay. So I'll like grab up the saddle and like I'll take off towards the town, swoop back around, and then come and just like grab like the like Lindra. Just hook under the arms, pick up my friend here, and then we're gonna like just fly over to these people, but like other side of the people, right? And then we're gonna like swoop back around and drop Yama into a hero pose. I feel like it's gonna be really cool.
Okay,
Yama's
so
gonna do,
which one
like,
is
the-
which one of these am I you're picking up your
The red
friend? Is
one.
that the big dog, the red one, or the dog thing?
Both? Can we do both?
¿Por qué no los dos?
We can do both. I mean, yeah, I'll be a bit slowed, but I think we can. It won't be as majestic, but I think I could carry all three of you.
Okay, all right. So look, what we'll do, we'll swoop around. We'll then like drop Yama. Yama's the red one. Hero pose, whatever. And then you and I and the dog, we will land. And like we'll place the dog next to Yama, and then like we'll land, and I'll stay atop you like the mighty creature being that you are. And we'll look down on these peasants. I don't know if they're peasants. They could be lords, but we'll see.
By the time this conversation has ended, Kara, you're on the shore. No,
Yeah, we took a while. We had to iron out the details. We had
yeah,
to look
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Describe it to me then. I'm happy for all this to play out.
I was
Yeah, well-
intentionally stealthing, so
Yeah, so you're going slower
Yeah.
underwater. Karu, I think you probably see the shadow of whatever this thing is go over
yeah,
you.
I get flashbacks to that time I went out to stealth to like get a lay of the land, and then everyone,
Right.
and then a ship just started attacking the ship that I was investigating. Just see the dragon, and he's just like,
Feels familiar.
why do I
we go
feel so uncomfortable all
But
of a sudden?
you notice that the dragon's tail is like wagging like he's in a good mood. Like he's not threatening.
It's a dragon. A good mood for a dragon
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's good for me.
He's sparkly, okay? He's an amethyst gem dragon. Sparkly boy.
Karu, like, while he's hiding in the water close to the shore, trying to listen to the conversation of the people, is just like, do I not say what I'm gonna do? This feels, I mean, yeah, it's a distraction, but I didn't think I needed. Okay, I think I'll just hang here.
Love that. Well, I guess, yeah, you're moving a little bit slower, Kara. You're under the water. I mean, you probably can still move quite fast underwater itself. And as you get closer to the bank, you can kind of slow down and kind of start peeking up like an alligator or something.
Yes, 100%.
And I think it's that point. Maybe there's a little bit of time where you overhear sort of what they're talking about. And you have a moment to kind of like pick up on some stuff before the big shadow comes overhead and everyone goes, "Oh my god, what is that?"
Dragon! Yeah.
So you can hear and kind of make out, shouts of frustration, voices kind of rising above the din. In the center of it all is a volcano dwarf waving her arms around, trying to kind of gain the attention of those around her. She's stout and formidable. Her face is set in a stern scowl, and sort of her fiery hair and beard are streaked with grey. Standing next to her, looking somewhat disinterested, is a human wearing a chain shirt and holding a shield emblazoned with the sigil of the Golden Guardians, a golden sunburst on a blue field. With a loud clang, he bangs his spear against the shield, and the noise reverberates through the clearing, momentarily silencing the crowd. And you kind of hear, him sort of call out, "Listen up, everyone! Griselda's got something to say." And the dwarf says, "All right, settle down. We got trouble, and panicking ain't gonna help." And then you hear, "Oh my god, it's a dragon!" from someone in the crowd, and everyone just starts going, "Ah!" And the sort of 50 people who are in this group just start scattering.
Well,
And then Yama drops from the sky and does like the Black Widow pose, with the one leg out, and then does the hair flick. And he's like, "Golden Guardian, how can we assist?" And it's just like chaos.
Killian will say to Lindra, like, I still don't get it. He's surprisingly limber in his old age.
And then you see him try to come out of the lunge that he's dropped into, and it's like,
I was gonna say hands on the upper thighs, like
yeah. And there's like a pop as his knee
just
fully
cracking
extends.
and popping sounds, as he gets back up onto his feet.
I was like, at this point, Karu just like comes out of the shallows from where he was just like, sort of like doing this, and he just kind of goes, "Well, I didn't hear shit, except oh my god, it's a dragon."
Sorry, my bad.
And I think, is the dwarf lady and the human, have they scattered, or are they kind of like holding their ground?
Excellent question, actually. I do have notes here on how they react.
Do you want me to roll an
this
intimidate check?
I think they're intimidated.
There's sort of a couple of people. There's definitely like kids and stuff who are very freaked out and scared. Especially the guy in the kind of chainmail. He kind of steps back and he's kind of like holding up the spear. You can see that he is very frightened. The leader, the dwarven lady, kind of has kind of ducked behind one of the wagons, but is not. But it is kind of looking out and sort of with keen eyes, kind of watching this unfold. And I guess, Kara, you spot all this as well from your hidden vantage position, as the shadow of the dragon kind of circles above everything. And Yama, you said what? So you, I guess, spotted that one of them was sort of wearing Golden Guardian's kind of armor.
Yeah,
You've
I think
descended
you've seen a
as a
couple of them
golden.
by now.
You've descended as a golden being made of armor yourself out of the sky and kind of landed on the ground. Did you say anything in particular to kind of like coax them back out of hiding? Like they're all kind of waiting to see what you're going to do.
No, so I think what he does is he lands in this super heroic pose, and he's kind of like, "We've come to help," and that's kind of like he looks around like, "Why are you running?" We're on your side.
Yeah, perhaps like there's a couple of moments or a couple of beats of silence, and then eventually like they kind of start coming back out from behind the wagons and stuff like that. Like seeing that you're not actively attacking them. A lot of them are kind of looking up, huddling against the sky.
The warg is a large beast as well, so he's standing next to Yama and just kind of like...
Yeah, so he's dropped down maybe a little bit more agilely, is able to land. Or maybe not, because he's a dog, and he just kind of like rolls and then like scrabbles to get up on his feet, and then like... yeah, good. Okay. So yeah, they come out. Eventually, you are approached by the dwarf, the human guard, and what looks to be a sort of like a half-elven woman. And yeah, they kind of approach you in this kind of open beach. Everyone else somewhat stays back. The half elven woman looks to be she's wearing, despite being that kind of half elf, graceful, beautiful hair, beautiful skin, etc. She's wearing like blood and gut coated overalls, big like fisherman's boots, and you can see like there are like fish hooks and like knives on her belt. Like this is certainly like a someone that is not afraid to get their hands dirty.
Awesome. Maybe Yama's just like, what has happened here? Um,
She kind of looks the dwarf kind of looks you up and down and says, "Did the guardians send you?
the
I don't
Guardians
recognize
know.
the markings."
The Guardians know, but we did happen to be close by. We have been fighting giants in the area.
Oh,
Is that what you're experiencing here? More trouble?
No. The We're having issues with. I mean, we're having issues with undead, and the town itself appears is haunted, and we're here to sort of rebuild it and make sure that it can be a way station again. So why are you here? Giants? We haven't heard anything about giants. Oh shit! Are there giants on this island as well?
No. We just said we were fighting giants, not necessarily
Yes.
here. Hey,
Oh my god! Like as Yama comes out of the water, that's when Karu comes out of the water.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Full
slosh,
dripping.
slosh. What were you guys arguing about before?
The Griselda. Well, we were trying to make sure everyone needs to stop panicking, which you haven't helped with, by the way, but thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that. Just so you know.
Yeah, you were. Don't
No, I
lie.
wasn't. No, I won't
wasn't.
agree to that.
Told him the whole plan before he even left the ship.
We
He was
did not.
all for it.
We start arguing.
Yeah.
In front of
Bickering.
After a while, again, like the guy like hits his spear and his shield again to kind of get your attention.
Yes,
And
thank you.
Griselda says, "Well, we, our scouts, or our guards, I guess, kind of spotted movement and something in the ruins, and we were kind of just making sure the women and children are safe, and then we're gonna get some burly folks to kind of go in there and figure out what's what. We've only just started kind of reconnoitering and setting up the gear." For this rebuild project, and then you all came along.
We're pretty burly. Like,
Just answered my question. I was about to say, do you want me to just like level a part of the town and then like you can have an area to set up and like have a little base camp sort of thing? Like if there's anything in the houses, I can flatten the houses.
He's really
a little
likes,
bit destructive.
Yeah, we're trying to rein it in.
Oh, how rude of me. Sorry, I need to introduce myself. I'm Killian, and this is Lindra. Lindra is my new dragon friend.
As of 5 minutes ago.
It's like 10 minutes. We go way back.
Regardless.
Well,
Karu under his breath, like, I did not agree to this.
well, pleasure to meet you. My name's Griselda. This is Sergeant Yorum, and this is Valdi Estepar.
Karu extends out a tentacle in handshake and introduces himself to all of them.
The dwarf and the half elf like don't bat an eye. You know, like the dwarf kind of reaches up and shakes your tentacle. I think the guard, the sergeant, is a little bit like,
It's wet.
Yeah.
Well, we're specifically looking for weapons for our plight, but perhaps they are here on this island. Perhaps we can go in ahead.
Yep.
Definitely going ahead.
I mean, yeah, that'd be amazing. If you want to go and have a bit of a look, you all look like very capable folks. She kind of crosses her arms over her chest. We could use extra hands to figure out what's going on.
I mean, we don't want to like. If you want to come with us, like
Yeah, if you want to come with us.
You also seem like you would be on par with us if you would. We don't want to. We don't want to intrude. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been tasked with rebuilding this town. We'd rather not level it all and have to rebuild from scratch. If
Not all of it.
yeah,
if some of it,
we'll try
Like that
to.
bit over there.
No,
yeah,
And, like,
if there's any of it
No,
that's still,
no.
if there's any of it that's still usable, it's we'd rather just patch it up rather than.
Okay, so dilapidated buildings that aren't usable are good to be flattened.
I guess
I won't use
No.
fire, so you can reuse the materials to then fix the other ones that are like in like the town looks like it's in various states of disrepair, but like there are some buildings there that look like they've got good bones, you know?
Yeah.
So like maybe I destroy some of the ones that have the bad bones, and then you can use the parts of those ones to fix the ones with the good bones. Like when you try to fix a ship and you buy another ship, and then you take the parts off that ship to fix that ship.
I guess so. I mean, I've only ever heard of people doing that to, they take two ships and they cut them in half and put them together. So then they're two halves of two ships. It's harder to track them, harder to trace them. They file off the VIN numbers.
Didn't think about that. I was more like, when your car has like your ship has a problem and the sails are bad, and then you're like, that ship over there has really good sails, but the hull's bad. So you put the sails onto the good hull, and it's like you hull swap them.
Killing. Like, calm down.
I've seen some weird shit. Okay.
Well, rest assured, we will do our best to not destroy buildings unnecessarily.
Absolutely.
Let's
Don't worry.
focus all that
Maybe
destruction.
10 of them.
Let's focus our
Nope.
destruction on
None of
whatever it is that is terrorizing this town. And you said it was like, do you know what it is that? Do you know what it is we're going in to find?
No, not at all. So we've only been here. We've been setting up camp over the last couple of days, and we've just had a shipment of supplies to sort of begin the process. But the idea is that we would set up a work camp here. I've got carpenters, I've got masons, I've got their families, and we've been tasked with kind of rebuilding this town and making it fit for people to move in. I've got a couple of guards, but we really weren't expecting anything here. But a couple of the kids and a couple of the people have kind of called out that they saw other movement. So I pulled everyone out of the town, stopped them reconnoitering, because I don't want to risk anyone in case it's. I mean, you said there's giants. We haven't seen giants, but we've heard rumors of undead.
These houses are too small for giants.
Yeah,
All right, undead. That's kind of what we potentially are up against. That's cool. That's helpful. Thank you.
That's good. One other question though: do you have any cattle to feed yourselves while you're here?
We have rations. I mean, no, we didn't bring any beasts of burden.
Okay. I was gonna say, could I potentially commandeer one of your beasts of burden to feed my friend here? And then I give Lindra a little scratch under the chin.
We don't really have enough food to spare, I'm afraid.
No, rations won't do for a dragon. It's fine. We'll go find a
Yeah.
sheep or a goat or something.
Okay.
Or a hill giant.
Yeah. Or if there's a cultist inside, maybe.
We'll just see what happens.
But so like that house over there, and I point off in the distance. This is the one with no roof and like half the walls collapse. Is it okay if I knock that one over?
My God, you are like a cat with like a glass on the table.
Yeah,
Now I'm just imagining that with Linda just going whack. Like,
that's the
just-
plan.
So which one are you looking to knock over?
There's like a roof. There's like one that doesn't really have a roof. I'm just using my mind's eye for it.
Sure. Yeah.
Like part of the walls collapsed.
I guess
there. I
maybe
feel
like
we
the
can't
four of
repair
you,
that.
the four of you plus the dragon and the warg are kind of like walking towards the town, and like I'm imagining you pointing out. So like, how about that
Yeah.
one though? That one's got no roof. It's just like, well, what if there's a basement? Like, then you'd collapse everything on top, and like, what if the basement collapses? Like, we can't just go like we were brought here because I've got experience. We don't want to just go around willy-nilly tearing things down. Things need to be scouted out, reconnoitered. What if there's like valuables? What if there's family heirlooms that need to be brought out and returned to their families?
All right, fine.
And as
Gonna
you're
knock something over though.
as you're making your way through the town itself, give me all perception checks.
I like to think that as we make our way into the town, Killian like tells Lindra to like there's like a broken gate. I'm like, knock that over.
Can
Oh.
I?
Is it
Can I
perception
use-
based on?
Sorry, can I use hearing? Like I'm listening out for any sort of
Sure.
noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I use perception based on sight?
Yes.
Well, didn't matter anyway.
God damn. Yama wins with a 19.
19's pretty good.
Oh wait,
I mean,
Lindra can make one as well. Where is?
Does Lindra care though, or is she just looking for a building to knock over?
Honestly,
Like, did she get a high perception because she found a building that's probably just perfect for her needs?
it could be anything. I'm gonna roll a wisdom.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. The
pretty
dragon
good.
is paying attention.
The hell?
that is very good. And actually, let's roll one for Griselda.
Dragon's very perceptive.
As you're walking through the town, you're getting closer towards the kind of docks area, the kind of fish district. In fact, the fishery. You can kind of smell, even though this place has been sort of abandoned for a long time. There's still that kind of old smell of old rotting fish that was perhaps kind of left behind in this area. Obviously, that deep sea smell as well, and you start to hear. Sort of a burbling and bubbling of water as you're kind of going through the town. At first, none of you kind of pick up on it. I guess Kara, maybe you're somewhat the first, but even by the time you figure it out, it's almost on top of you. The draconic spirit is the only one that is not surprised when tearing out from sort of one of the alleyways, a number of they're almost like shell, like Venus on a shell, on a half shell. Like imagine a chariot, like an old Roman chariot made out of a shell, but instead of wheels, there's kind of like burbling water beneath it, going forward to a horse made of water pulling this thing. So the wheels of the chariot and the horse itself are made of water. On each of these chariots, there is an archer and what appears to be kind of a knight. And four of those chariots kind of burl around the corner right as you're about to come into one of the alleyways, and just burst out in front of you. And all of you but the dragon are surprised. And you can see just in the moment as combat effectively begins that these knights and archers appear to have a tattoo sort of up their arm that looked like 3 tentacles rising up out of the water. And that's where we'll end it for this week.
What? That's friggin' awesome. Do they look undead?
They look like little fish boys.
Yeah, have I found some fishy friends?
They look
Yes.
Whoa,
Yes, I have.
cool. Look at the shield. That's sick.
That's fun.
So a crab shield, a kind of serrated tooth sword, and that kind of fishy look.
Yeah.
And we'll discover what they're up to next week.
Hells yeah.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to pay obviously paying the Draconic Spirit natural 20 for its perception, although it did get one less than my roll, which was a 23 for stealth.
Whoa,
Jesus.
stealth. The hell?
But a 20 is a 20. We like a 20. So
Love it.
hopefully you liked the start of the new campaign. I know Paulie wasn't here, but I hope I played him adequately.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
Was there anything outstanding or anything I didn't cover off that we needed to? Any questions at the end? I know there was a lot of hands raised for Paulie.
Oh no, that was just saying that we were burly people. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was just continuing the joke from earlier where only Yama was considered strong.
Was considered a super weapon against the giants.
Yeah, yeah. And we're like,
super weapon.
Very good. All right, so we'll kick off. Hopefully, if not next week, then the week after. I know. Well, we'll play next week anyway. Hopefully, but if Timmy's not back, we might try and get someone else in to play Griselda or some other, one of the caravan guards that has come and joined you, perhaps.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with these fish knights or these water knights, and discover why this town perhaps is important next week on the D&D Pirates. Thank you to, obviously we had a raid before the D&D Doctorates. That was cool. I saw Sullivan Kate. I saw Maddie. I saw more contributions by you, Dylan, and Maddie. We're less than 10,000 away, inspiration points away from the Wild Magic Surge. So I think we'll hit that next week, and maybe the entire town will burst into flames.
Can't wait. Can't wait to burn it down.
All right, that's gonna be it from us, everybody. Good night. Bye bye.